Hey, Jan, thank you so much for being with me on the Purposeful Mindset podcast. I am super grateful to have you on the show. And I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with you because I know that this is your first podcast you're ever coming on. I know that you're a little bit, you're used to be, or no, you are how I used to be, super
Mhm.
shy, afraid of the camera, didn't show myself as much as I wanted to, as much as I wanted to help and inspire people in the world. I was too afraid of what people thought about me. So I know we had a really good conversation, but this show is all going to be about you today. So I really want you to just be yourself and just share with my audience and my listeners what in your journey in marketing and the business that you're running right now, and your journey so far in life, what are your top 5 lessons that you've learned so far that you think is going to add value to anybody out there listening, and they're going to be like, wow, I can really relate to this person.
Mhm. All right. Well, I'm just gonna get straight into it. Um, it was my number 5, but honestly, it's screaming in my head right now. So I'm gonna trust my intuition that it's my number 1. That everything begins and ends with gratitude, and that's in every aspect of life: family, friends, work. Just it's such a 360 fluid thing. So before and after asking for anything or embarking in any journey or venture or conflict, it's just like I'm thankful for where I'm even starting in the first place. And then how, despite the results, no matter how it turns out, it's just like I'm thankful that I had that experience because there's something to learn from it, like no matter what. So it's such a foolproof, like positive ending and beginning. Just it's such a good state, good intention to begin and end everything with. So that's my huge kind of lesson there. Anywhere that I've ever started from that point, and that is a recent kind of like practice that I'm finally beginning to get more consistent on. um I just experience more like abundant results, like just feeling so much better after whatever journey it was. So that's, like, I would say the number one. Number 5 creeped up to number 1 just right now.
But I think I agree with you, and I actually think your intuition is 1,000% right. I think if
Hmm.
I ever started anything in any event or anytime I speak to anybody in my life, the first thing I always talk about is gratitude. It's like number one out of everything else that I talk about, including confidence and taking action and mindset and personal growth. And personal growth is a big one for me, but I'll always
Yeah.
put gratitude first because that is really, as one of my favorite guys that I follow, Lewis Howes, he says gratitude is the antidote of life. It's
Yes.
literally like the potion, like it's literally drink gratitude every morning and every evening, and you'll never have a really hard time in your life because you always come back to that and just remember that you still have something.
Exactly. So yeah, that's got to be number 1.
For sure,
um,
yeah. I love it.
and then I don't know. It's not necessarily, these aren't in order now because that was like the top lesson. But another huge one is that love doesn't discriminate. It has no face. I've just experienced so many forms of it at this point, and it kind of just ended up trickling into like my work. Once I finally allowed it to trickle into my work, that's when I kind of like, something in me just like snapped, a big light bulb of how my work, you know, how I found purpose in my work. So I'm just like, okay, I have all these strategies, I have all these skills, da da da. I'm kind of just like operating on autopilot. But then in my personal life, I'm like a huge, heavy like lover, whether that's like family, friends, colleagues, but I found a way that, especially with this like wellness era, mental health awareness era, all of this kind of made that relevant in my work. So that was really huge for me because everything just started feeling so much more authentic, so much more genuine, and just like, I just got fired up again behind everything I do. So, when, even if it's something like caption writing or shooting, directing a shoot or arranging content or doing someone's branding, like it's deep down, it comes from the values, and deep down, like it comes from a place of love. Like how do we want to serve in this world? You know what I mean? So I think that in that lesson, I've also learned that, business has become my love language as of late. You
Yeah.
know, every time I meet someone and I'm like, wow, you have a passion, or you have like a skill set, you have this secret genius zone. Like, I just, something in me, and it's not, you know, it feels I don't know, it just feels so like authentic. I'm not even there sitting to strategize to like collaborate with people. It's just like, I want to serve you, I want to help you push out your magic, like, you know what I mean? So just like, you know, yeah, I think that would be like a huge one. That's at the root of everything, love and gratitude, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add love in there too. Mix them together
Mhm.
both for sure. I
Yeah,
love that
and
you said. Yeah, go ahead, go on.
I was gonna say, well, in that journey, I also like discovered self love, and again, like business is personal at this point, so everything kind of connects for me. Um, you know, in personal life, there was a point where my immune system was at like an all time low, and despite me being like a machine in the freelance world, I still wasn't reaching like my max like productivity. So that's when, at that point, like it was like the birth of a lifestyle change, because you know, with anxiety that you don't take care of, immune system that you don't take care of, like it starts affecting you physically, like, you know, your hair, your skin, your energy, your like bones. It's so crazy how like visceral it gets to just like
Mm.
not feel good. um so it that was like very eye-opening and expansive, and discovering self-love and how that enabled me to like love others even better was just very, not only 360 but inside out. So huge gratitude and a lot of love there. Top two.
Top two, yeah. No, I love that. I was just listening, and when you said about, as soon as you talked about, as soon as you just added the last bit about self-love, it just made me realize recently I've been talking about that so much, because a
Mm,
lot of people in my life, I found that they don't have it, because they were like, Sadiq, like, how are you able to stay so productive? How are you staying so energized and so positive? And you're always focused, like you never switch off, or you never um like you never, I don't know, argue with people, and like you don't spend time arguing with people. And I'm like, because I just love my energy, and I give it to those who I know is going to serve them, and that I care about and that I love. But
mhm,
before that, I give it to myself. Like, I start with me, and I do things that I appreciate and I love, and after I feel amazing, I know that I can give to the world. Bear in
mhm.
mind, I told you before, right, I have a lot of natural energy on top of that, so I can give a lot to people. And as a coach, especially, it can be very draining when you're working with clients and people, where all you're basically doing is listening to their negativity, and taking their crap,
Yeah.
and then inspiring them by saying, hey, your crap is not crap. Like, it's
Mhm.
just a little bit of shifts, a little bit we need working on, a little bit you need to communicate and share from within, get a bit emotional, get a bit deeper, and then things will start shifting in your life. And I can take that from people and not allow it to affect me in my personal life,
Mhm.
but because I started with self-love, because I do things that I can switch off from the world. I do
Yeah.
things that I enjoy, and that way I can serve others 100 times better than I think most people out there. Because most people would just get drained and be like, I feel burnt out, Sadiq. Even other coaches that I know tell me that I feel burnt out because my clients are just like sucking all the energy, and I'm like, I don't know, like, I feel sorry for you. I'm empathetic,
Yeah. They wonder, they ask you what's your secret, but it's not a secret.
Not a secret. It's like, it's just me. Like, I can't change it, man. I can't give you any more of the secrets that I know. This is just my natural energy, and is
Yeah.
my purpose. Like, I genuinely, I am here on earth to serve people, to help people, to bring out the best in them. And as you said about the love language, I love that, because
Mhm.
yes, it's like
That's love language.
the more ambitious people I meet, the more pumped up I get. Like, damn, I want to make these ambitious people my friends, because they
Mhm.
say that the handful of people that you surround yourself with are the ones that you become and think like, right? I don't
Mhm.
want negative friends. I don't want people who don't have passion and purpose in life. I want to be with those people who really ignite a different fire in me, or a different passion in me, or a different creativity that
Yeah.
that I can really, serve the world with in a different way. And that's
Yeah.
what I look out for, connecting. That's
Synergetic
why I love my
relationships
podcast too.
that like support your purpose, you know.
Definitely, yeah. And one of the reasons why I started a podcast too, because it's like, it allows me to talk to people like you and connect with like many ambitious people, and just bring them on and be like, hey, I want you to share your 5 lessons with my audience, because I think we think alike, we have an ambition, we have passion, and some people listening don't. And so maybe by them listening to us, it will trigger something in their brain to be like, wow, I can relate to her. I can relate to what Sadiq said. And then
Yeah.
maybe slowly, step by step, get to their passion.
Ah, exactly. Well, I mean, if anything, like these types of connections help people discover or even rediscover their passions, especially if it's something that's like a little bit closer or aligned to the values that we have. It's like, oh, I used to be really passionate about this. What happened? Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I love not only the ignition, but the reignition is just like really, really huge, especially for us millennials that are, at this age, we had all these like passions from our younger years. Still young, okay.
They're still
But
super young, okay?
yeah. So yeah, it's the with the love, the self-love, it's not like a moment that's just at the beginning or in the middle or at the end. It's literally like, in between every single client call, because you never know what's going to go down in those calls. It's like that meditation, that 5 minutes of breathing, that's the self-love. That's what keeps us going. That's what enables us to handle, even more, and listen to be a rock for more people, and be able to listen to them vent and not project that into our internal lives. So yeah, 360 inside out.
Love it. Love it. I'm curious to know what the third one's going to be then. It's
The
going to be
third
interlinked.
one I wrote down is, well, okay, in the form of a lesson, is that life is an adventure. Um, uh, for a very long time in my life, I was struggling towards like a life of comfort, kind of like seeking and chasing, like, oh, okay, we're gonna hustle super hard and reach this point, this destination, this point B where everything's comfortable, right? But looking at the past decade, I'm like literally always going through, like, always ever changing, one transformation after the other, and no matter what, I'm just like never truly comfortable. But I think that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah,
That's why
that is
I'm
the
able to
point.
go from one change to another. Because if I did find kind of that point B, or reach the point where I was comfortable enough, then change number 8 to 83 would have never happened. So keep it changing, keep it an adventure, at least for me. For some, everyone's path is different, so it depends what works for everyone. But that was definitely a huge thing for me. I love being comfortable. I love being cozy. Sorry, one sec. No worries. But yeah, just, it's reversed now. It's like chasing what makes me uncomfortable the moment I recognize that I kind of start to settle in a little bit.
Mhm.
So yeah, the point is to resist what would otherwise usually feel nicer. But it's I don't know, chasing the discomfort is more expansive, I would say.
I, I I kind of resonate with you, and I can, as a coach, and what I kind of teach people now is like, I understand that a lot of people, they are actually in a comfort zone, even they think they're not. Some people that I
Yeah,
know, they tell me that they're not in a comfort zone. Sadiq, I'm hustling, I'm working hard, I'm going after my dream. And I'm like, but are you really? Because I don't see it from your actions.
yeah.
Your words are cheap, but your actions are where the expensiveness lies.
Like, you look
Because
pretty cozy over there.
yeah, it's like you
Right?
look
Yeah.
pretty like you've got a nice sofa there. You seem to be always chilling out, self-care every day. Wow, that's a bit too much, I think. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's a limit to it as well, and there's a
There's self
balance.
and there's like vacation.
Exactly. Like my point is like the one thing I want to really like drill into people's head is that when you do something in your life, be conscious of what it is that you're doing when you're doing it. So, for
Mm,
example, when you are going to the gym, I like me personally, I don't like working out with anybody. I don't like a partner. Like I love working out by myself. I'm
yeah.
more motivated, I'm more inspired. I just put on the music and bang, like I can kill it. And
Yeah.
I've
It's
really,
different.
because I'm in the zone. When someone
Mm,
comes and says they want to work out with me, I'm like, I love you, but
yeah.
please no, because like I like my workout to be by myself. And I
Yeah.
remember so many occasions where people used to come up to me when I used to go to the gym, and they used to want to talk because Of course, I do lots of different things. I do a lot of different variations of workouts in body weight and animal flow and
Yeah.
lots of different crazy stuff that people find inspiring because it's not the norm. It's not weightlifting. It's not that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
they're like, wow, what's that thing you were doing? It looks super cool and you're super flexible and this kind of stuff. And I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. But can I speak to you at the end of my session? And then that way I can give you more attention and time. It's not because I'm rude. It's actually because I want to speak to you, just not now because this is my time. And so people actually respect that of me now because I told them kindly that I really respect you and I really want to share with you more about it. I'll come to you at the end, or come to me at the end of my session, and I'll really like help you or tell you the people I follow that has got me here. And it's just like, that's what I mean by really being conscious of what it is that you're doing in your life, whether it's business, having that productivity of, okay, take out an hour and no one's going to distract you. You put your phone on turn do not disturb mode and just zone out for 1 hour of productivity, not 1 hour of a bit of keyboard warrior typing and then going on your phone on content, like scrolling through Instagram a little bit and TikTok a bit. It's like, you're not really being productive, man. Like, stop distracting yourself from that and just
Right.
focus on this. After you've done that, go and do whatever it is that you want to do. Distract yourself all you like. But that's the
Yeah.
comfortable spot that people are stuck in, I think.
Ah, yeah. If it feels too comfortable, or if there's no aspect of it that doesn't even make you at least like 25% cringe, then change something.
Yeah,
Snap it.
100%. And
Break.
sometimes that change has to be someone external telling you. That's why people, like, what I've learned being like indirectly coaching people for like 5 6 years now, and
Yeah.
starting my coaching business now in just a few months ago, this year in 2020. What I've realized is all those people that I've actually helped, my friends, family, acquaintances, colleagues that I've actually coached indirectly, I realized that they needed me, which is an external person, to
Mhm.
inspire or motivate them and tell them that, that you're good at this, you should go and do this. Or why are you being lazy? You shouldn't be doing this because it feels like you want to do this but you're not doing it because of this
Yeah.
distraction. It's awareness, like bringing awareness to them, and they're like, maybe you're right, Sadiq. Maybe this is what has been holding me back, this person or this thing. This is my comfort zone. So that's why I think as a coach, I love coaching now, because it's like people have these little trigger moments. I'm like, you're stop lying to me, okay? You have not posted this many times, or you have not done this week. You never hit that goal or whatever. And they're like, all right, cool, you got me. Like, how did you know? I'm like, because I just know, man. Don't need to lie to me. I'm the person who's trying to help you to grow in your life. You don't have to lie to me. You don't have to pretend to impress me. I don't want to be impressed. I'm impressed by you being you. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That external, comment that comes as like a little accountability reminder.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. People need that.
hmm Well,
So
excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
let's go to the next one because I like the three that you shared so far. Powerful ones. I like them.
I mean, they're things that are relevant in every aspect. I think those are the major things that are so life changing. Is that when I learn it and then I'm like, okay, this worked out in this aspect. Let me test it over here. Let me test it over here. Oh, it's a freaking formula and it works in every aspect of life. So that's why they're just like huge. Of course there are life-changing, mind-blowing moments in within those kind of like parts of life, but the ones that just affect everything 360 is just what really hits home for me. So I would say the next one that I wrote down here is home is what you make it. Still applies to business,
I
just
like
wait for
it.
it. So I don't know. I would say that the first moment that this lesson kind of began is the first time that I kind of left the nest. So leaving the nest, moving out again and then again and then again and again. I did kind of like move back home, and then I think this is, I would say, my eighth place. So I've moved in and out of home with my parents 8 times. But that again, it's that constant like, don't get comfortable, right? I
Hmm.
keep on changing that. But I don't know, it's not like the location of your space or the location of where you operate or create content or work from. um it's like it's wherever you are and how much you can be comfortable like with who you are, and make your own space exactly where you are like work for you, just make it home. And this is the first space that I've been able to really just like independently curate. And I don't mean like the pieces of furniture or the items in here, just like the vibe, like the energy. I have control over curating what kind of energy I want to be like circulating in my space. And that has affected like my business tremendously, even though it's something that's more of like the nest, more of the home, and not necessarily, things that my audience or clients would like interact with, but it just enables me to perform so much like better. And it's just like an organic performance enhancer, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been really huge. I am, well, as of late, I have been like, well, all of us, some of us not by choice, most of us not by choice, hopefully, but like, we're homebodies, so that does kind of matter. But when I was super outgoing, when the world was open, when I tried to leave town at least once a month, I just was just like, trying to chase that space. Like, where is this space? Where is this place that I'm gonna feel comfortable? But honestly, it's wherever I am and wherever I can. It's like, I think the feeling of home, the concept of home is an energy inside. Exactly,
That's why
exactly.
you're seeing me on the screen right now doing
Yeah.
this right in my heart, because it doesn't matter where you go. Of course, it makes a massive, massive difference in your energy levels and your productivity and the clarity that you can have in your mind. Definitely makes a difference, the environment. However, deep, 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 deep down, it always doesn't matter where you go, as long as you're happy down here, internally, down in your soul, in your heart, either whether that's doing something that you love or having people that love you or being around supportive friends and family or just living your truth, even that can just with like deeply find you happiness.
Mhm.
But then definitely I agree with the environment, because as I said to you on our call before this, like I
Mhm.
used to love sitting in hotel lobbies and working.
Yeah.
I was more productive. I didn't like it at home. There's energy and there's like negativity downstairs, and like parents were just talking about someone else's family and blah blah blah, and just shouting. You're like, gosh, like why do I have to be here right now? Like I need to just go out and zone out, So I used to love going out, putting in my headphones and just busting out my content and videos and editing, and I did everything from my mobile phone. And I still see people till today complaining that they don't have a team and they don't have content. It's too hard. It takes too much time. I'm like, you do not
Oh, that is
know what it
extra.
takes.
No
It's all
need.
excuses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on the hotel lobby, I used to do something very similar, except I used to basically, you've heard of like the WeWork
Yeah.
office spaces, and they're beautiful lobbies and lounges with the unlimited coffee and kombucha.
Yeah.
um, so I used to like WeWork hop and do the little like freebie days. Um,
Okay.
like a trial day, but because they were so beautiful and I was obsessed, and I was like, there's no way that this is the only one I'm going to see, or that's the only one. So I would like hop and try to experience all those lobbies and keep my environment changing, but no matter what, it's filled with the kind of people in that at WeWork, their demographic, their clientele is people who are hyped, people who are hustling, people who are ambitious. Like 10 feet away, I in my peripheral, I'm noticing people like connect, just like the way we did on LinkedIn, except IRL.
Yeah.
And then other people just kind of with their headphones, and they're in the zone, like that energy circulating time, like just
You
magnified.
just feel it, right? You just feel it
Yeah.
in the room, the energy. It's so powerful. People hustling and you're just there like, I'm not gonna just sit here be lazy. I'm gonna hustle with them too. Like they motivate you to hustle, right?
Yeah, and as long as the coffee bar is there, and there's beautiful space, and the lighting is really good, and there's people with good energy, that combination of things feels like home.
Yeah.
So it's what you make it.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I think you're right. Honestly, like for my personal story as well, like in
Mhm.
my journey, I used to love sitting in hotel lobbies, and I when things get better, you'll see on my Instagram stories all the time. Like I'm in a different places all the time. I love different cafes and places with a view. The best places for me are those where there's a window and there's a really nice view out the window, and you're just there. My creativity goes crazy that day. Like I love it. It makes a big difference on in how we process things and how we can be more productive in that time that we have to just be mindful in the moment and just get what it is that you want done, and then just go and relax and chill out and have your self-care time as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think the constant like the variety of environments makes us less codependent on like this curated desk space, and this is my cubicle and this is my desk space, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it makes us more resilient when things in our external, but maybe even internal environment, because it does affect us, like emotionally, where we are, how things are arranged. You know, the whole what is it, like the space design psychology. You know, but that's why I love like hotel lobbies, cafes, WeWork. They take all of that into consideration. So these spaces are really made for, you know, people like us, and it's so like I have nothing but gratitude for the pioneers of these kinds of spaces that take that deep of a consideration for creators like this, because how else are we gonna pioneer everything we're pioneering, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love them. Honestly, I'm the same. Like, I think the people who created those spaces, they knew there was a need for it, especially for the new generation, upcoming generation that's
Yeah.
coming, where we are all creative people. We're on TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and everything, and we are
Mm.
gonna be the new creators. So give these creators somewhere to relax and to work and to unleash their true potential.
Exactly. Pave the way for those who are going to pave the way even further.
Yeah, love that. Powerful. So we're on the last one now, I reckon. So
I
what
know.
did you switch over from number 5 to when you switched 5 to 1? What did you?
5 to 1. Okay, so what did I say for number 1 was the gratitude. Like everything begins and ends with gratitude. So that was number 5, and the way I wrote it previously was gratitude is the key to manifestation. But that still goes hand in hand. Um, Basically, yeah, I was on this like I was like a big manifestation junkie, studying like human design, you know, reading all the oracle cards and collecting my crystals. Just like really like obsessed with it, because it's, I don't know, it's like a, I guess, unconventional way of being ambitious that isn't so whiteboard, to-do list, calendar centric. um I just wanted to take that kind of like spreadsheet, like I think like just corporate vibe out of it,
Mm,
and just make it feel more adventurous. And you know, in that kind of like spiritual journey, that's when I discovered all this like self-love, this gratitude stuff. So everything just keeps circling back and is just so connected,
mm.
which is why all these lessons don't necessarily have like a specific order, because as I go through like a little bit of one chapter and then I learn a little bit of this, and then they just keep zigzagging together. So it's it's been an adventure, and it's going to continue to be. But my number 5 now is, previous was home is what you make it. Next is work is what you make it. I think we are in an era where, you know, it's not as defined for us what work has to look like, because it's not necessarily like a job. You know, it's like life's work. What is our life's work? We can literally take our purpose that has nothing to do with business, turn it into a business, make it a life's work. You know, there's founders of these nonprofits that are just doing it because that's their purpose, intention, that's their life's work. And, you know, somehow along the line, with a lot of love and a lot of care and nurturing and a lot of gratitude, it becomes profitable anyway. You
Yeah.
know, the universe is going to support us if we're really like serving our purpose and supporting as many people as we can. So that was, you know, being and I'm so proud of this badge, being a corporate dropout and then starting a business. That was kind of like the moment, that kind of started this journey with this lesson. You know, your work is what you make it. Because, you know, we can try all these things, learn, acquire all these like hard skills and soft skills, but you know, if there's not enough values tied behind it, not enough purpose, you're just going to keep trying to chase more and more skills. It's like this faceless thing that you're chasing, but you don't know what it looks like. But with purpose, you're like, oh, I know how I feel about these values, and in my truth, in my kind of little world, this is how I express it. This is my love language. You know, business is my love language. So, you know, and like supporting others and listening to others is your language. So it's I mean, I feel so blessed and so grateful to live in an era where we can just wake up and define what our life's work can be,
Mm.
and then change it if it needs to change. You know, things change, the world changes externally, and then life changes internally, and we can totally shift that. if we need to. And it's whatever the new life purpose is, work is still what you make it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be like, we're able to break the chain whenever we need and still serve. Like I'm just to be alive and of working age and have, you know, all the things that we're equipped to do this kind of work. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
feel it. I can feel it from how you're saying it now. It's powerful. It's a true, like,
Yeah. My heart is beating just from saying that.
yeah, it's literally, I can see you're pumped up and you're so passionate about it and you deeply really love what you're doing, and that's amazing. And that's what a lot of people listening right now or watching on YouTube, like, they need to hear that. They need to see young people like us doing stuff in life and being like, wow, like they found their purpose. Like, why am I struggling? What can I do to be in a place that they are right now, but in what I love doing, and make my life, find my life's work, and make that my purpose as well.
The answer is look inward. Stop comparing. Stop. Don't look at the next person. Other people, yes, they are amazing. Yes, they are, you know, geniuses, but you have a genius somewhere inside of you when you turn all of that noise off, you know. I mean, here, once upon a time, and I'm sure you can relate with this, you know, I felt like so small, admiring people so like big in the world, so famous, making huge like impact. But the more I learned to look inward and kind of turn that off and learn to unfollow, even I admire these figures so much, aspirational figures, right? But I was able to, you know, have that self-discovery. You got to quiet down and, you know, empty your cup of everything that you've been just consuming and consuming and consuming. Like, what is, you know, what is your internal content? Like, turn off all that noise. Let your intuition speak to you, whisper to you. You'd be surprised how easily the messages will come through if you make the space for it. So it's my little preach.
Powerful preach, woman. Powerful preach. I'm listening. I'm loving it. It's so good. I hope everyone's listening or watching on YouTube right now, you're getting so much value because she shared deep stuff, super passionate as well, with so much like fire and so much purpose and passion, and her energy. You can tell, right, that she genuinely is loving what she's doing and she's found that purpose. She's calming down now. But before you calm down, I want to ask you the last question that I ask all my guests, where it gets a bit deeper. And then I'll get you to share all your social media handles with everyone else so they can go reach out to you and take some of that energy from you as well. So the question I want to ask you is this. I know that you're introverted and you're still a pretty shy person behind the scenes. So let's just say that Jan gets a TED Talk and like you're going to be sharing your life's purpose and your journey and a story in that TED Talk, something worth sharing. And right at the end of a TED Talk, usually people get told to kind of leave the audience curious and thinking and introspecting on something for the rest of their life, and something that would allow them to remember you by. So my question is, imagine you're on that stage, on a TED stage somewhere in the world with 90,000 people. That's my number. 90,000 people is 180,000 eyeballs looking at you. And you are literally like crapping yourself, but because of your passion and your drive and your purpose, you're so passionate to give these people some love and some energy and leave them with something that day that they'll never forget you by. What is that one sentence that you will leave the whole room with? And then you're allowed to elaborate on that as well. So what would that one sentence be right at the end of that TED Talk in front of 90,000 people be?
One sentence. Okay.
One sentence.
All right. I have a thought. I'm going to insert a comma so it's not two sentences. I would say, you know, for a moment, just instead of thinking about what everyone needs you to be, instead, try and think about what you need you to be. Who do you need you to be? And how I could expand on that is basically, you know, we teach others how to treat us by showing them how we treat ourselves, right? And even if it's internal, huge impact, huge sort of domino effect there, right? So, you know, whether it's business colleagues to lover to best friend, like what are you like? What would you be like if you were your own best friend? What would you be like if you dated yourself and you were your own lover? What would you be like if you were your own boss, your own CEO? Like, who do you need you to be? And honestly, that's all you need. There's no one to copy, to mimic. Take the inspiration, let it spark something internal, you know. And I think that's what I would go with. 180,000 eyeballs, 90k, nervous or not, that's the message.
I love it. I love it. It was powerful. That would definitely leave people in the room curious as hell to be like, wow, that is deep, and I am gonna go and think about that. Who do like? It pretty much just sums it up as in, why am I caring about what other people think about me, and why don't I just do something that makes me happy in my life? Because it's my life. I've got one life, and I'm gonna live it once. So let's just go and find me, really.
Exactly. I don't need to worry about living these 90,000 lives.
Yeah, exactly. They've got their own life to live. And so if I can touch and inspire them, amazing. If I can't, doesn't matter. I'm inspiring and touching myself every day, right? Like I'm inspiring and doing something that I know is serving a purpose in the world. So that's what really matters in the end, is that purpose.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah,
like,
love it.
have you ever asked yourself, like, okay, what kind of coach do I need me to be? You know, even that. I mean, that's probably something I'd ask myself too. Shoot. Yeah.
That's a good question. What kind of coach?
It's such an inquisitive way to leave a TED talk, that to the point that even I'm thinking about it when I leave.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I went to an event once, and I'm not gonna lie, one of the mentors on the stage actually said, like, would you be your own mentor? Like, would you choose yourself to be your own mentor? On the
Mhm.
day he asked it, I actually said yes. Because at the time I was already super passionate.
Yeah.
So I was so caring and loving, and I really like I knew I was giving my best. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I knew I'm not slacking. I wasn't being lazy. I wasn't in my comfort zone at all. I was out there hustling every day, as I said, as to a point where one day when I was prospecting on the online business that I was doing a couple of years ago, I was prospecting people to to be part of my team and to kind of grow my team and expand. I went to the shopping center, one of the largest shopping centers in Europe here in in London. And I literally, Jan, I walked into every single shop, scared as hell, still scared as hell. I was bold and I had confidence, but I
Yeah.
was still scared as hell to
You
go
still
into
be
the
cool.
shop and
Yeah.
randomly talk to people and build a quick relationship with them, a bit quick friendship, or pretend like I'm building a friendship, like telling them, can you go bring me a size in this thing? Like, just starting a conversation and getting that person to talk to me and build a quick connection where I can be like, hey, I'm working on something and I'm expanding something. I'm really excited about it. And no idea if you're going to be open to it or not, but would you ever be open to like making an extra income alongside your job here? Because I'm pretty sure you
Mhm.
don't really love this, right? And
Mhm.
they'll be like, yeah, of course. Like, what is it though? I'm like, look, I don't have any, and I literally learned this from psychology from my mentors. It's like, look, I don't have time right now to explain to you, although I'd love to, but here, look, leave me your number or take my number or give me your email address. And I promise you within the next 2 days, I'll reach out to you and I'll share more info with you if you're
Yeah.
open to it. They were always open to it because nobody likes to be closed. Everybody likes to be open-minded. And so I was doing that. So when he asked that question, I was like, yeah, actually, I don't have a mentor right now that's like Sadiq, like that's this passionate and this caring and like really wants it bad, right? I would love to be my own mentor, but I can't, because we all need other mentors who are way ahead of the game, who
Mhm.
inspire us to level up every day, or we get comfortable being where we are,
Right.
you know? So Jan, I'm honestly, I love what you shared. I'm super grateful for. You wasn't shy at all. You were amazing. Like, you shared so many cool tips and so many amazing lessons that I think everybody is going to get so much value from. But if anybody listening or watching this on YouTube, they want to go reach out to you, they want to find out more about the marketing that you do and the business that you're running, or just ask you a question because I don't know, they can relate to you and maybe they are our age and they have something in common with us.
Mhm.
What platform can they go and message you on, DM you, email you? I will leave all the links anyway under the podcast, but just for
Yeah.
you to share with them, where can they reach you, like if they want to really have a burning desire of a question to ask you?
I would say number one would be LinkedIn, and I'm Jan Camille. Search me up. And number two would be Instagram, jcamille.co. It's just more of my visual playground because of my design background, which, you know, if if you're trying to see how do I express myself and things like that, go find me on Instagram. If not, then LinkedIn is an amazing, where I share a lot of projects and share a lot of collaborations. So depending on what you're looking for, those are my two top platforms.
Awesome. And I'm going to link them all below, guys. Make sure, as I always say every week, go and reach out to Jan. She's super cool. Her energy is going to inspire you. So make sure you reach out, ask her a question. If you're stuck with something, if you need help with design, branding, marketing, that kind of cool stuff, let her know, because she'll genuinely be there to, as you can feel from her energy in the podcast, she doesn't even need to sell to you. She basically sells through her energy. Like, she's so genuine and authentic. You can tell that. And so, as you guys know, I only bring guests into my podcast who I know who are servant leaders, who are giving back more than they ever take from anyone. So reach out to her. And any last words that you want to leave with everyone, Jan?
No, I'm just grateful beyond ways that I can express for sharing your energy and having you, share my magic as well. So I'm really grateful for this connection.
You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I will catch up with you very soon.
Yes, I'll see you on the gram.
See you on the gram.